Praise the Lord. Welcome to Daily Broadcast, the Word of Faith. So we are doing a series on the positive heart conditions. Today, it is going to be an obedient heart. An obedient heart. Romans 6:17. But God be thanked that you yourselves, the servants of sin, you were the servants of sin, but you obeyed from the heart in the form of doctrine which was delivered to you. See, God looks at our heart, how obedient we are. See, the reason why God rejected the first king Saul, he was disobedient. The reason why God blessed Abraham was obedience. So obedience, we will have blessings. Disobedience, God rejects. See, the sin of Saul, if you see in the Bible, David sinned more than Saul. David committed adultery, David committed murder. Understand? There is no record Saul committed adultery. But still Saul was rejected, but David was accepted. You know what is the difference? David had an obedient heart. David had a repentive heart. David admitted, David confessed. But Saul had a very disobedient heart. Now, my wife Sujata asked me, all Saul did was he disobeyed once. Why did God reject him? See, let me tell you something. When God does something, it is very deep. Very, very deep. God gave a command to Saul, wipe out the Amalekites, including the king, the children, the women, and the cattle. Sometimes it might look very cruel that what did children do? What did women do? What did the cattle do? Listen to me very carefully. Those children, if they are grown, they will become a thorn for Israel. You understand this? And then those cattle are, because they're dedicated to the demons there, it carried demons inside them. God is a merciful God. It's not that we are more loving and more merciful than Him. When God said something, there is a meaning behind that. So because He spared the king Agag, the Amalekite, you know, during the time of Esther, Haman, the prime minister, was an Amalekite who wanted to kill all the Jews. You read the Bible, Haman the Amalekite. So it is not if Saul spares one person, that one person can become a nation, and that nation can become a thorn for Israel. See how far God sees. It is not just one simple disobedience which Saul did. Understand, we should have an obedient heart. And same time, Moses, a great man of God, 120 years he led the children of Israel. He was stopped at the promised land. You know why? God said to speak to the rock for water. They were complaining about water. And Moses, in anger, he strikes the rock. You might say, it's a very simple thing, Pastor. What if there you speak or you strike? What difference does it make? No, it makes a lot of difference. You know why? Because when God says something, there are deep meanings behind that. The first time when they were thirsty, God said to strike the rock. In 1 Corinthians 10, it says that rock was Christ because He will be crucified on the cross once. So the first time when He struck the rock, He was crucified, Jesus. The second time He said, speak to the rock. That means because He's already crucified, we have to go and speak to Him. The water will come from Him. But Moses, in a fit of rage and anger, he takes the rod and strikes it. That means he was crucifying Jesus the second time. You understand this? That's why, because of his disobedience, he was stopped from entering the promised land. Listen, when God looks for a person, He looks for a person with obedience, with whom He can trust His plan, His purpose. In a sense, Jonah did not obey what God said. The result was a storm. Had he obeyed, the storm would not have come. You see this? Isaiah 119, be willing and obedient, you will eat the good of the land. Job, when you obey, you will prosper. So have an obedient heart. God bless you.